Hello everyone, welcome to Moonride. I'm Dave Johnson. I'm channeling the man in the moon today. So I'm just gonna leave it totally open. Just want to see the near future in this confusing time. Let's take a look here. So, mhm. All right. So I'm seeing some rockets. Interesting. They're rockets like kind of crossing each other. So we could read a lot of things in that, right? Okay. It could just simply be U.S. Iran. Let's see, they're crossing each other and they're going in opposite directions and they're sort of going around the globe. So it's almost like boom, boom. Um, yeah, it just something is off in the sense that they're not going where they're supposed to go, or it's not successful, or let's remember there's collateral damage. There's plenty of innocent people that are going to be harmed by this. So I hope we can all spend a moment here and pray for whomever. They're going the wrong way. I'm seeing a lot of suffering. I, I I don't see how this could be good in the long run. If you're in a country, whatever country it is, and you see your people suffering because of the actions of another country, you're not going to forget about that. Never in your lifetime. It's heartbreaking to watch this happen. These people did not vote for the leaders of Iran. It's making them, it's unifying them against the United States. It's making them angry. Okay, so there's a flag and it looks like it's red, white, and red. I don't know what flag this is. It makes me think of Canada, but there's another flag. Now it's showing up as some kind of bird in the middle of the flag. It could be Poland or Russia or Ukraine. Someone is successful here. Someone successfully, some country successfully has a big ticker tape parade. I think it's Putin that's succeeding. Yeah, he's overjoyed about this war. This is going to make Russia a fortune. It will undermine Ukraine. Yeah, this is a kind of triumphalism. It's the worst thing that could happen. Essentially, we've helped two countries that are not at all helpful to the United States. That is Iran and Russia. They're both doing great. And by that, I mean the leaders in those countries that would seek to harm people are doing great. There's people throughout the world, countries throughout the world, that are just getting absolutely fed up. We keep expecting the United States to do something that's right, and it's not happening. So, in some sense, there's a reaction. It's like the evils come out. All right, Spirit, can you give me something really specific? There's a bomb. Mm. There's a bomb that goes off in Europe. I'm getting maybe Spain. I don't know if this is present or just a reminder that when Spain entered the Second Iraqi War, there were terrorist attacks. It looks like it's off the coast, maybe. Is it Spain we're looking at? Yeah, okay. It's a little bit unclear where it is. I can't tell what country we're looking at. It feels like it could be Europe. Feels like it's Spain or possibly Portugal. And it does feel like it's in the water. I'm seeing a ship. Aha, okay, maybe these are the ships going through the Strait of Hormuz. I realize that's not far from Spain, but maybe it's a Spanish, or that is far from Spain, maybe it's a Spanish ship. People board the ship is taken, and I mean, I get the feeling that the ship is taken and the people on the ship are taken. It feels like, Iran takes a ship. And man, are those guys angry. Whew, I wouldn't want to be on that ship. I also get the feeling there's a woman on the ship. And I'm feeling quite nervous for her. I don't think that they are gonna do anything untoward, but at the same time, it's just giving me the feeling that these guys are fanatics even more than there are other fanatics. It's not a safe place. And they're motivated. They're very, very motivated by attacks on their soil. So they're not really being reasonable. There's a great danger here. Let's ask. So what about Trump? Okay, he keeps trying to make things happen, pew, 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 but it doesn't work very long. Every time he creates some kind of distraction, it's just for a short time. Sometimes those distractions are just there to, pocket money. But Trump is very, very, very worried about his lack of power and his inability to move anyone anymore. There are a lot of there's a lot of opposition, a lot of worry. People come into his office, he's yelling and screaming. They're sort of rolling their eyes. Yeah, what else? What else do you want to do? And he's trying to do something with the judiciary. Like he's actually working behind the scenes with the judiciary to try to get some laws that will ensure him a win. Because he's tried with Congress, it's not working. The SAVE Act did not go through. We might call the SAVE Act Steal the Vote Act. I, by the way, will not be able to vote if that act had gone through. I would have no way of showing my ID from a foreign country. That's not accidental. Just my little bit there for why I would not support it and why it's treasonous. But he's working on something. Okay, so train tracks. He's really working hard though, and it's not like he's got a train. He's got one of those like push carts on the train. He's really, really working. He's sweating a lot. I'll keep this in mind. All of this stress is costing him years of life. The desperate attempt to cover up his last crime is really killing him. So when we say, hey, there's no consequences, there are. We just cannot see them. He's sweating, he's sweating. He meets Putin on the tracks. Putin's got a whole train behind him. The train's like meeting him and pushing his little cheesy cart one direction. Putin is just laughing. Mm. And it's like China totally above the fray. They don't have to do anything. They just watch this destruction happen. And they're pushing, something is going to happen. Putin pushes Trump right off the edge. And it's like he push, 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 and then he goes off the edge. It's partly just for Putin's power. It's quite laughable how badly Donald Trump has played this. Part of it is just Putin's enjoying the power. He doesn't even have an objective beyond that except to demonstrate to his people why he shouldn't be assassinated. He's gonna show them, he can mess with the U.S. and get away with it. And I do see Trump falling. Like I see him on the train track and just go, ah. Then there's come up, and so it's not long term. Putin does get backed away. There's J.D. Vance has shown up. I'm thinking that Putin's going to push him to the end. Vance is going to show up. Vance is going to make a little bit of, get a little progress. It's going to move down the aisle a little bit, just a bit. We won't be able to call it a success, but it's like the power increases stop. So maybe it seems that J.D. Vance won't be, allowing the oil to flow from Russia so much. He'll stop that. We'll go back to these sort of stalemate things. Ukraine keeps fighting on. J.D. Vance now has a difficult task. It's pretty hard to accept that Russia, is sending bombs to Iran and killing American soldiers. All right, so let's ask again about the war here. What's going to happen? I've already seen it in on Hogarth's show that this would be a disaster. So it's like they can't get in. It's like the soldiers can't enter. They're sort of getting to a place and then they kind of go around the periphery, but they can't get in. So they're repulsed, repulsed, and repulsed. And it's quite a dangerous operation. They're casualties, heavy casualties. I believe some will be captured. And so we're going right back to a situation, I believe it was 79 when, when the Iranians captured the people at the embassy and held them for ransom. We're going to be in that situation again. And that situation isn't necessarily going to stop when Trump's gone. So J.D. Vance potentially will inherit this mess. And it's a weird thing, like J.D. Vance is kind of in charge, but not exactly. Rubio is also kind of in charge. I'm not sure how that's operating, but it's sort of a quiet leadership. I think they've just figured out that J.D. Vance should not speak publicly. And he won't last long. He's going to tumble fairly quickly. Because he just doesn't give any air of confidence. All right, so let's go back to this war here. It's like there was a possibility that Iran could have move towards a more democratic society. I see women removing a veil, and I know they don't wear veils in Iraq or in Iran. They wear things over their head, but I see the woman begin to remove this, and now she's put it back. So if there was any desire to free people, this ensured that they wouldn't be free for some time. The woman turns away. She's disappointed. And people have become more fanatic. They're really, really angry. I would not want to be a troop. I would not want to be in the army as these guys. If these guys capture me, it would be a real, very, very angry captors. So I'm just gonna ask, how are we gonna get out of this mess? It's gonna take a long time, and it's gonna completely undermine the Republican Party. There's just doesn't seem any way out without losing. It's just another protracted war that's like an addiction we cannot get over. Okay, let's just look at one hopeful thing because the No Kings is showing up. No, again, there's always a response to this, and I think the response from the peaceful people, the people who are critical of the Trump regime, are really awesome. They're really awesome. Look at them like protesting. They're working together with each other. There's a sort of sensitivity. Maybe we don't agree on everything. There's just in some ways, we're practicing democracy more than we were before. So this is not all bad. It is just a shift, and it's sort of like things are showing up for us. Like, hey, you're gonna have a democracy now. You're just gonna be passive, and we're not being passive. All those people are protesting. It's a sort of a beautiful feeling. I'm just going to say, like, if you're finding yourselves unable to move forward right now, it's quite a difficult ability right now. Just moving forward is it's very confusing and frightening. These groups where you are peaceful protesting are really helpful because they uplift you, they give you power, and it shows that in a group of people peacefully acting, we have power. Uh, if only the presence of others uh, who are moving forward and doing the right thing. And, in some ways, these are the people you want to be friends with, right? People who are going to listen to you, not be too judgy. So don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to join any kind of group like this. And if you are feeling food insecurity, don't hesitate to go and tell people who are within this milieu that you are unable to purchase your food. If you have enough food and you have extra time in your hand, go volunteer to help people give people get food to eat. I know I've been speaking to people in Minnesota, a lady named Jacinta. She has created a program where they make bowls out of clay and then they sell the bowl with some soup in it so that the money goes to a food pantry. There are ways that you can help that are very, very small. And while you're doing that, it'll stop you from doom scrolling. I know it's a challenge, but in some sense, we've got to flip the switch and go from I am powerless to I am powerful in these ways, despite all the things that would run me down. And I just want to say thanks to everyone. Thanks, people, for hitting the buy me a coffee button. It goes a long way. I appreciate all y'all. And thanks for going out and doing the No King stuff. Thanks for making videos on this topic. Don't forget, there's a very bright movement towards the light. This is going on, and a lot of things in the media are not designed to tell you that, as you may have recently discovered. They're designed to depress you and make you keep scrolling. Don't submit. Move in your own direction. Liberate yourself. Thanks so much for watching.